All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about an idea that's actually 37 years old now, something that was just scribbled on a memo, but it completely changed everything. But here's the real kicker, the tough question we have to ask ourselves. Has the way we work actually caught up with this incredible, hyper-connected, paperless world that idea created? So our story, it actually kicks off right here, March 1989. What you're looking at is a proposal from a guy named Tim Berners-Lee. He was pitching a new way to manage information, and the feedback from his boss, scribbled right there at the top, it's become legendary. Vague, but exciting. Can you imagine? And that right there is how the World Wide Web got its start. Not with some big explosion, but with this kind of curious, a little bit uncertain nod of approval. You know, what's really interesting is that the first name for this whole thing wasn't the web, it was the mesh. And that one word is so important. See, Berners-Lee wasn't just thinking about a digital library, a place to store stuff. He was imagining this dynamic, totally interconnected system. A place where any piece of information wasn't the end of the road, but the beginning of a new one. A truly living, breathing network of ideas. Which, of course, brings us right to today. I mean, we are living inside that mesh he imagined. The tech is everywhere, on our desks, in our pockets, you name it. But here's the thing, are we really using it? Like, to its full potential? Or are our habits, the way we do our jobs, still kind of stuck in the past? That's really the big question we're going to dig into. And this leads to something I like to call the paradox of progress. Think about it. We have these unbelievably powerful, dynamic tools at our fingertips. But our workflows, the day-to-day grind, a lot of the time it's just shockingly static. And that creates this huge gap, right? Between what we could be doing and what we actually are doing. This cartoon, man, it just nails that feeling, doesn't it? Accelerated process without progress. It's like we're using all this fancy, fast technology to do the same old stuff, just faster. We're spinning our wheels, but with a much bigger engine. You feel like you're working harder, you feel like you're going faster, but you're not actually making any real progress. It's that same frustration as, using a supercomputer to add 2 plus 2. So here's the crucial part. Modern tech lets us stream literally thousands of tiny little updates to get everyone on the same page, and it costs pennies. And yet, so many of us work in places that are still stuck in paper-based thinking. And look, when I say paper, I don't just mean the stuff from trees. I mean any static one-and-done format. You know what I'm talking about, that finalized PDF, that PowerPoint you email out. It's a snapshot, frozen in time. The second you hit send, it's already starting to get old. So the big question is, how do we get out of this loop? Well, it takes a pretty fundamental shift in how we think. We have to stop thinking in terms of static files and start embracing living, dynamic links. Okay, let's break this down. It's really a tale of two artifacts. Over here, you've got the static file, your PDF, your PowerPoint. The moment you send it, it's gone. It's out of your control, and version control, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare, right? We've all seen those file names, final_re2_actually final this time. But then, over here, you have the living link, what we all just call a hyperlink now. It's one single address that always points to the latest, greatest, most correct version. It's easy to fix, it's scalable, and it's just simple. Let me make this super real for a second. Imagine you just sent a huge presentation to 100 people, and then your heart sinks. You spot a massive typo on slide 2. If it was a file, what do? You have to send a recall email, an apology, attach V2. It is a total mess. It's a ton of work. But what if you had just shared a web link? Well, you just go fix the original. That's it. Anyone who clicks that link from now on, bam, they get the corrected version. It's instant, it's seamless, and it costs next to nothing. Okay, so we get it, right? The mindset needs to change. But how do we actually do it? This is where a more structured process can really help. It's called the idea delivery lifecycle, and it's all about taking an idea from just a tiny spark all the way to a scalable living asset. It's basically a 4-step process. First up is ideation. That's the initial aha moment. Then comes elaboration, where you flesh it out, you put words and pictures to it so other people can actually get it. Next up, and this one's huge, is iteration. This is the constant cycle of making small improvements. And finally, you have presentation, where you share it with the world. But the key is that each step flows into the next in this dynamic, living workflow. So you can see the whole journey mapped out here. But pay attention to the flow. It's a cycle. This isn't some straight line where an idea gets finished and then you just forget about it. No, This is a living system that's always being refined. The whole point is to create a dynamic asset, not just another static document. And this is where things get really, really powerful, especially right now. See, when your ideas are built this way on these reusable web-based standards, they become AI ready. What does that mean? It means we can suddenly go back to good ideas from the past, even ones that didn't quite work out, and use AI to salvage them, to scale them up, to deliver them in totally new ways. And we can do it instantly. Which brings us to what might be the single biggest payoff of this entire approach. It's a concept that can totally change how you think about all the work you've ever done. It's called retroactive improvement. So what on earth is that? Well, retroactive improvement is basically the idea that as you get smarter and as your system gets smarter, all your old work gets smarter right along with it. Think about that. Instead of your past projects just becoming these dusty old relics, they become living assets that are automatically getting upgraded with your newest insights and your latest tech. Okay, so how is this even possible? It sounds like magic, but it comes down to 4 key things. First, you separate the core meaning of an idea from how it looks, the presentation. Second, because of that, a single rule change, like a new brand template or just a better way to explain a concept, can instantly upgrade hundreds of old documents. Third, the information is structured, so computers and AI can actually read and understand your old work. And finally, all of this adds up to a build once, improve forever model. Pretty cool, huh? And the result? It's a complete transformation. You literally turn your entire body of work from something that just gets older and less useful, a depreciating liability gathering digital dust, into a compounding asset. Every single thing you've ever created now has the potential to become more valuable over time, not less. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own work, in your own organization, what brilliant ideas are sitting there right now, trapped in paper, locked away in some static file on a server somewhere? What amazing potential could you unlock if you just set them free? It might just be time to really assess how scalable your team's best ideas actually are.